Speaking of presidents, another hot topic that has been released is Kamala Harris has released a statement, and she has actually been going around to different states, and she's running for president in 2020. She was recently here in South Carolina, Friday the 25th at the Pink Ice Ball for Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I didn't attend the ball. I don't know what she said, but a lot of people have in the comments about her running for president. I've seen both sides of it. Some people support her. Some people feel good about it. Some people feel I've seen some comments. She's a judge who has sent a lot of African Americans to jail for innocent African Americans to jail just because they're accused of it. I don't really know how to feel about this story.
Well, I mean, I was really, really proud of her presentation, her interview on The View. And just great. She told us that her name was Kamala. So I don't know how we didn't know it. That's how she pronounced her name.
Her name is Kamala.
We didn't know there was an accident anywhere. We didn't know. So we are so sorry. But it was, okay, black woman. All right. Well, I think a lot of us in the previous couple of years, we were like, Michelle Obama, we need you to step up, man. But so now it's Kamala Harris, and so hey, that's fine. She has the experience. She has all these connections. She's done great things. She had a beautiful town. She had a town meeting the other day, town hall, and she apparently had really great views on it. People across the nation. It was like one of the most viewed shows at the time. She seems to be bringing a different message, a clearer message. I don't know how much she plans to pull the red side or Republican side or the conservative side with some of her policies. But as far as being a person that makes people feel good, at least she's doing that. We don't have that right now. We don't have anything or anyone, not even a system that's making us feel good about really doing what we're doing, and so I can see that she is a front runner for 2020. She is a front runner. To answer your question, I think in my view is yes, we don't know exactly how people are going to engage with her, given that she was a prosecutor, and she prosecuted all types of different crimes and stuff. Yes, she sent black bodies or colored bodies, people of color, to jail and prison and beyond. But, it's kind of like, so what do you do if that's your job? If that's the system, if that's the government that we've built, who better to look in the system and say, hey, I've been on the prosecuting side of this. I know what black people are facing on a daily basis. So yes, I can be in a situation where I can change that. So I think it'd be really interesting to see what goes on beyond that. I am ready for a debate to happen.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm waiting on to kind of figure out where I'm at with it. I want to see her in the debate. Let's see what she has to say about it. I know she has done interviews and she's been around. I want to see her in a debate, and I want to see who else comes out and says they're running for president in 2020. Who else could we have? I mean, we already got Trump.
The question too that a lot of people are questioning and posing right now is, can a woman beat Trump? And then it's always, can a black woman beat Trump? Or can a woman of color beat Trump? And then it's all of these issues coming up about who can beat Trump. Not necessarily, is that person fit to be president? Could they be president? It's really just about a race to beat Trump. And it's kind of like, that's the reality of the game. Sadly, that is the reality. No matter how much you don't like the president, if you cannot pull enough people, if you cannot pull enough funding, if you cannot pull enough following, you can't beat them. If you can't pull the votes, then that it is what it is. So, what do we do as a people? If you don't like Trump, do you back Kamala Harris just because you feel like she's a front runner that she may possibly beat him? Or do you just kind of, I don't know what to do, I may not vote 2020 because I don't want to, it's not going to mean anything. Like, what's the point? What do we do? So I think that's always a question that comes up, and we're just trying to learn what we can, get these policies out. Some of the policies, by the way, I mean, Trump's policies are all the way over here, and then the administration, I would say, and then some of Kamala Harris's policies are all the way over here, and so until we find a party that can kind of pull all of these things together,
right.
I'm not saying independent, but until we can find some people that can pull all these ideas and pull all these people to the table, we just got out of a 3 to 4 week shutdown because we couldn't decide on things. So
right.
I need some consensus. I need
right.
people to get their ish together.
And I think after Trump's time that he's been in the White House so far, I think the ones who did vote for Trump are now realizing they made a mistake. Because I did see a post of a young lady who she said in the post she did vote for Trump because her and her husband felt like Trump could do great things and get South Carolina, get the United States back to where they wanted it to be, basically. And after him shutting the government down and all of the other outrageous policies that he created, they're now like, we made a mistake. And they were a couple that had kids that were, if I'm not mistaken, they were on food stamps and government, getting help from the government. And he shut the government down, and they actually got like an eviction notice. They were in the process of being kicked out of their apartment, and they had young kids. And they're now like, what do? We have no money, we have no help. We're about to be homeless on the streets with our kids because he won't open the government because he's trying to build a wall that is really unnecessary.
Yeah.
So I think really if the right person comes along with the right words and the right motivation, we could easily get Trump out. But it's going to take that right person to come. Right. Because we don't want to vote somebody else in the White House who's going to be like him.
And for anyone watching, like, it's not necessarily that I'm just anti-Trump, or I don't think that's not the view that we're trying to pose. It's just that there's a view that we see that's different.
Right.
That I feel like we want to appeal to that appeals to us, this different view that is not based on bigotry, that's not based on hate, that's not based on just the money in the situation,
Right.
That's actually caring, compassion, give us your hunger, give us your tired, things like that. That's why I think we are really trying to base our America off of. And so, for anyone watching, I don't want people to assume that we are just so anti-Trump. This is a Democratic show. That's not really what we're trying to show. We're just giving our views. And this situation that we're in is just, to be honest, it's kind of sucky. It's kind of crappy. So I think that if we are able to get candidates that have a decent shot, that is the big thing.
Yeah.
I think we could do great things. But the other ploy is, guys, like, realize you have to elect people in your local areas, in your states, in your government, like, to actually push these policies. You can't just, I'm going to only vote for the president and think that the world's going to work out right. There is Congress. So there's so much more than just voting for the president that people kind of like.
Right, and that's what a lot of people do. They feel like, I only need to vote for the president and everything is going to change from there.
Yeah.
And that's not how it works. Your local people, the president handles the policies for the whole United States. But it starts with your local people and the policies that the local people put into place. So, you're worried about the United States, but what about where you live? Yeah. So, I would love to hear everybody's comments on this topic. So please make sure you comment on this post and let us know your thoughts so we can shout you out next week. We'll be very interested to hear your topic. You'll hear your opinion on this topic.